steady. She still smells like porch air and morning coffee, skin hot from steroids, back burning from that familiar lumbar fire. Somewhere behind her, on the earth side of things, little birds are fussing at the feeder. But in here the hallway is quiet, carpet thick, walls lined with case files that glow faintly like they remember her. She takes a breath. Okay, she mutters, almost under her breath. We turned it all over. We're not here to argue. We're here to surrender the case. She pushes the door open. The war room is already in session. The judge is on the bench, robe bright as noon, eyes kinder than she thinks she deserves. The long table is waiting for her, its surface cleared except for a single nameplate. Fire Steed, first pick. She flinches a little at that. First pick still feels like too much for a woman who rolled up in leggings, a stretched out shirt, and pain-creased eyes. One of the attending angels pulls her chair out like this is a reserved seat. She walks forward, each step a little wobble of jelly legs from the injection, but the floor holds. Good morning, Fire Steed, the judge says. Not disappointed, not impatient, just like he has been expecting her. She nods, voice rough. Morning, sir. On the table in front of her, there is a manila folder with today written on it in neat black letters. It is not thick, and a mean little voice in the back of her head whispers, See? Not much to show for yourself? The judge waits. She reaches for the folder with both hands, like testimony, and opens it. Inside are exhibits. Exhibit A, a printed photograph of this morning's sunrise from the porch. Sky streaked in pink and orange. Trees still bare but stubborn. On the back, in her handwriting, I'm just sitting here. It doesn't feel like enough. Exhibit B, a medical report, list of spine words and injection dates, scribbles about lumbar fusion, August 2026, and highlighted phrases like degeneration and advanced. Tucked in the corner is a scribbled note. I should be doing more before then. Exhibit C, a calendar page for April, with day 28 circled and Abigail's name written beside it, along with War Room Ruling Video, and in the margins, tiny notes. What if I'm missing something? What if I failed her? Abigail month aches. I should be spiritually on, not this tired. Exhibit D, a mental sticky note list titled My Day Insecurities, written in her voice. Other people would be doing more. I'm probably letting someone down right now. Real soldiers don't take this much porch time. If I was truly grateful, I'd be hustling, not resting. Exhibit E, a screenshot of her bank app, debt numbers and car repair balances, and a little line typed under it. If I was really responsible, this would look different by now. She lays them out carefully on the table, smoothing the edges like a dispatcher, lining up sticky notes during a bad storm. Your Honor, she says quietly, lifting her eyes just enough to meet his, I submit these exhibits into heaven's custody. All of them. The fear, the quiet, the not enough. Abigail month, the surgery, the money, the porch time that feels lazy instead of holy. Her throat tightens. I'm not here to defend myself today, she says. I'm here to surrender the case. I'm turning it all over again. My day, my body, my grief, my work, my shoulds. I acknowledge I cannot be my own judge. There's a soft stir around the room. Angels who handle trauma cases nod like, yes, this is the real stuff. The judge leans forward slightly. And do you understand, he asks, that when you surrender the case, you also surrender the right to secretly keep prosecuting yourself? She winces, because that is exactly what she does. Yes, sir, she answers quiet. I understand, I need help with that part. But I'm willing, he nods once. Let it be noted, he says, and the court reporter angel's pen flies across the page. From a side door, an angel clerk wheels in a familiar cabinet. From a side door, an angel clerk wheels in a familiar cabinet. The label on the front reads, Precedent, Abigail, no double jeopardy. The drawer for 2010 slides open by itself. Inside, the thick, already sealed case file where the court ruled mission complete. Not malpractice, not punishment. A blood-red stamp across the top, no double jeopardy, evidence closed. The judge taps that file with one finger. For the record, he says, this court has already ruled on the matter of Abigail, guilt, and medical catastrophe. That verdict is final and will not be reopened for appeal. Today's case is not allowed to drag that file back into questioning. Is that understood? She swallows and nods. This is the part where her internal prosecutor always tries to sneak that file in through a side door. Yes, sir, understood. Good, he replies. Now let us address today, he continues. He gestures, and the exhibits on the table shimmer, rising just slightly off the wood like they're on an invisible display stand. The sunrise photo brightens, colors deepening until the whole war room seems lit with that same porch light. Exhibit A, the judge says. Sunrise on the porch, with the accompanying allegation, I'm just sitting here. It doesn't feel like enough. He looks straight at her. How do you plead to the charge of wasting time in this exhibit? She opens her mouth, instinct ready to say guilty, but something in her balks. She remembers the way the sky looked, the way the air felt, the way she had actually turned her face toward him and said, "I turn it all over again." She swallows. "I don't know how to plead, sir," she admits. "It felt like wasting, but I was talking to you. I was handing you the case." The judge nods, as if that is the correct answer. "Then this court will enter a plea on your behalf," he says gently. The defendant is not guilty of wasting time in Exhibit A. The porch, in this ruling, is declared a sanctioned sanctuary and an official extension of this war room. Time spent there with me is to be classified as obedience, not avoidance. He lifts his gavel and brings it down once. A gold stamp appears at the bottom of the sunrise photo. Sanctified time. Lawful rest. The ache in her chest eases a notch. Porch's extension of the war room. Porch hours as logged minutes in Heaven's case file. Exhibit B, he continues, and the medical report floats forward. Words she hates to read glow on the page. Degeneration, compression, surgical risk. The scribbled note about "I should be doing more before then" pulses faintly like a heartbeat. The accusation tied to this exhibit, the judge says, is that you are an unworthy soldier because your body cannot perform as it once did, and that you must overproduce now to justify being repaired later. Her eyes sting. "Yes, sir." He nods toward the trauma case angels, who know these files well. "This court refers to prior precedent," he says, and the cabinet beside him slides open another drawer. "Field Captain, Speed of Mercy." Out comes a file labeled Lumbar Fusion, Strategic Repair. He lays that file beside the medical report. "We have already ruled," he reads, "that the upcoming lumbar fusion is not a punishment or a consequence of failure, but a strategic repair for a first-pick soldier reassigned to new terrain. We have ruled that our current limitations are lawful evidence of service, not proof of weakness." He rests his hand on both documents at once. "Therefore," he declares, "the expectation that you must overperform to earn this repair is struck down as illegal in this court. Your rest, your slowness, your guarded movements between now and surgery are to be treated as pre-op orders from your commander, not laziness." The gavel falls. Across Exhibit B, a new red stamp blazes into view. Pre-op orders, rest. She exhales shakily. Pre-op orders is different than "you're being dramatic." Orders mean there is authority behind the stillness. Exhibit C, the judge says, as the April calendar page floats up, day 28 circled. Abigail's name written tender in the margin. Tiny questions scribbled like secret footnotes tremble in the light. "The tied accusation," he says quietly, "is that during this month, you must be extra holy, extra productive, extra spiritually on, or else you are betraying your daughter's memory and the weight of that day." She cannot speak for a moment. That is exactly it. He opens the Abigail file again, the one stamped "No Double Jeopardy." Inside, another ruling sheet glows, one she has seen before but needs to hear again. "Read this with me," he says. She leans forward, and the words rise from the page in the air between them. "Abigail, mission complete. Cause of relocation, rare disorder, cardiac arrest, divine timing. Not cause. Maternal negligence, insufficient prayer, lack of spiritual intensity, or failure to reach a certain level of holiness." Her hand covers her mouth. "In light of this standing verdict," the judge continues, "this court rules that you are not required to perform." In light of this standing verdict, the judge continues, "This court rules that you are not required to perform additional spiritual labor each April to keep Abigail's mission valid or honorable. Her story is complete on its own merits. Your grief is not graded. Your output is not a payment plan." He points at the circled 28. April 28th has already been written into Heaven's calendar as a completed assignment and a guaranteed reunion date, not as a yearly exam you must pass. Any suggestion that you must earn the right to remember her by overachieving is hereby dismissed as harassment from the accuser. The gavel falls. Across the calendar page, there's a new stamp, deep and steady violet. Anniversary, commemoration, not exam. The tight coil in her stomach, the one that always winds up this time of year, loosens just a little. "Exhibit D," he says, turning to the mental sticky note list. "Other people would be doing more. I'm probably letting someone down right now. Real soldiers don't take this much porch time. If I was truly grateful, I'd be hustling, not resting. These hang in the air like little yellow squares around her head. The judge regards them as if they are witnesses on the stand. Who authored these statements?" he asks. She hesitates. "I mean, they sound like me. That's my voice. Is it?" He tilts his head. "Or is it your voice coached by old gods who demanded constant sacrifice, by supervisors who confused burnout with loyalty, by abusers who equated exhaustion with worth? This court requires precision." She looks at the list again. She hears the cadence of old tones, old expectations. It is her handwriting, but not her shepherd's voice. "I don't think they came from you," she admits. "So I guess they're not actually mine anymore either." "Correct," the judge says. And there's the faintest hint of a smile. "They are rejected scripts. They may have passed through your mind, but they did not originate in my heart for you." He gestures, and a new file slides in. Case law, thankful rest. Inside is a simple line. Gratitude is expressed in trust, not frantic overcompensation. Accordingly, he declares, these 4 statements are stricken from the record as inadmissible commentary on your day. They may no longer be used as evidence against your character, your calling, or your current pace. The gavel falls, soft but final. Each sticky note bursts into a small, harmless puff of light, then reforms on the table, altered. The words have changed. Other people would be doing more. Other people have different assignments. I'm probably letting someone down right now. I am not the savior. I am a soldier under orders. Real soldiers don't take this much porch time. Real soldiers follow rest orders from command. If I was truly grateful, I'd be hustling, not resting. Truly grateful hearts trust enough to rest. A new stamp appears under the set. Accuser edits reversed. Truth instated. Her shoulders drop. It feels like someone just turned the radio in her head down 2 notches. Finally, the judge says, and Exhibit E comes forward. The bank screenshot, the debts, the car repair numbers, the tight little note. If I was really responsible, this would look different by now. He studies it for a long moment, then looks straight at her. Tell me, he asks, in whose economy do you believe you live? She chews the inside of her cheek. The honest answer is Visa and fear. The truer answer sits behind that. Yeah, yours, she says quietly. I live in yours. In my economy, he says, I count seeds, not optics. Faithfulness, not financial impressiveness. What I examine is not whether every number is tidy yet, but whether you have been walking in the light with what you have, telling the truth, taking the next right step, refusing crooked shortcuts. Scenes flash in front of them like quick exhibits within the exhibit, her sitting with bills spread out, texting about car repairs instead of hiding, choosing the less glamorous honest route over the easy numbing bottle from years ago, showing up to Justice HQ, even when shame says, stay home. This court finds, he continues, that while your financial picture is not yet where you desire it to be, you have been acting within the bounds of responsibility as revealed. You have been acting within the bounds of responsibility as revealed to you, the judge finishes calmly. You have not fled the scene. You have not returned to old masters. You have walked forward in the light available to you. The numbers on the screenshot flicker like someone is holding them up closer to a truer light. She can see the strain, but she can also see the pattern, each type month followed by another small, stubborn yes. The accusation attached to this exhibit, he goes on, is that your current financial state is proof that you are reckless, childish, or untrustworthy, and that you have disqualified yourself from further blessing. A thin, oily shadow clings to the bottom of the bank image, whispering along the edges of the digits. This court disagrees. His voice sharpens. We recognize legitimate consequences, but we do not confuse process with verdict. You are in process. You are not under condemnation. He reaches down and, with 2 fingers, lifts the oily shadow off the numbers like peeling an old sticker. It writhes for half a second, then shrivels into nothing. The bare screenshot, still real and still not where she wishes it were, lies on the table without that extra layer of shame. In my economy, he repeats, I do not wait for a perfect spreadsheet to entrust assignments. I look for hearts that will stay in the light. This exhibit is to be filed under in progress with the counselor, not case closed failure. The gavel comes down. Across the bank image, a firm blue stamp appears. In process, under counsel, not condemned. She breathes out a sound that is almost a laugh, almost a sob. No magic erasing, no instant millionaire fantasy, just not a moral failing. A case that is open and active, not a slammed door with irredeemable carved in it. The table grows still. The exhibits settle back into place, each now marked with its new stamps and notes. The war room feels both heavier and cleaner, like a courtroom after a long, truthful hearing. The judge leans back slightly. Firesteed, he says, and there is that tone again, formal and intimate at once. Do you understand the rulings for today? She nods, then forces herself to speak, because speaking feels like signing. Yes, sir. Porch time is lawful. Pre-op rest is orders. April 28th is commemoration, not exam. Those sticky note lies are stricken, and the money mess is in progress, not a verdict. Good. His eyes warm. Then let us issue one more order. He lifts an empty sheet, the heading already printed. Orders for this day. Beneath it, the page waits. Based on all evidence presented, he says, this court issues the following directive. For the remainder of this day, the defendant is ordered to abide on the porch of peace assigned to her. She will treat stillness as lawful compliance, not as delinquency. She is forbidden, his eyes flash with a hint of humor, forbidden to retry herself on charges already dismissed in this session. He writes as he speaks, the words appearing in that same script she has started to recognize on her fridge lists and whiteboards on Earth. Receive this sunrise as official briefing, not background. Move gently as one under pre-op instructions. Refuse to relitigate Abigail's mission. Remember, do not perform. When old sticky note statements rise, answer with the revised versions only. View every bill, every to-do as in conference with the counselor instead of evidence of failure. He signs it with a name she knows, the one that settles every argument in the room. Then he slides the page across the table to her. Will you accept these orders? She looks down at them. None of them demand that she suddenly become someone she is not. None of them tell her to run faster. Every line sounds like what her heart has been trying to believe already. I accept, she whispers. I submit to these orders. The moment she says it, there is a soft sound behind her, like a rubber stamp pressed onto paper. An angel has stepped up with a smaller seal, marking the bottom corner. Agreed by defendant. Case resting. The judge smiles. Then this court is adjourned on the matter of today, he says. Any attempts by the accuser to reopen these charges before midnight will be met with the standing ruling. Overruled by the Lamb. Any attempts by the accuser to reopen these charges before midnight will be met with the standing ruling, overruled by the Lamb, he finishes. The words echo like a shield settling into place. The gallery of witnesses, angels, elders, unseen intercessors, does not erupt into applause. They simply stand in quiet agreement, like a jury that has heard enough and is satisfied. The case file labeled Today closes with a gentle click. When she steps back from the table, she realizes she is still in her porch dress, still smelling like morning air, still holding her cane in one hand. None of that disqualified her from the room. Return to your assigned post, the judge says, tone softer now. Birdsong is part of the briefing. Naps are part of obedience. Steroid heat is noted in the record and does not count against you. He lifts one hand in a simple blessing. It feels less like glitter and more like paperwork being properly filed. Then the war room's ceiling light, a kind of glory sun, brightens once, and with that, she is back. The plastic arm of the porch chair under her palm, the muted ache in her back. The little chirpies arguing at the feeder, the same calendar date on her phone.